Hi, this is Lisa from LK270 Rubber Stamp. Welcome to my channel. Ready for today's video? Today's video, I'm going to share with you how I use the markers to color the stamps. If you own a box of LK270 water-based marker, welcome to join me. I'm going to share with you step by step how to get the perfect stamp image. If you don't have a LK270 water-based marker, you're totally okay. You can use any kind of water-based markers. They will work just fine. You can even use a Crayola marker. The color may be a little bit lighter than LK270 markers, but they work just fine. The trick is not the markers. I wish I can say I have the most magic marker on the market, but that's not true. The magic is actually the stamp. You got to make sure you have the shadow stamp. And I'm going to explain to you what is the shadow stamp and what is the detail stamp. And in today's video, actually I'm going to show you both. I'm going to share with you how to use the marker color on the shadow stamp, and actually I am going to share with you how to use the marker color on the detail stamp. So let's start it. Okay, so I'm going to use the LK270 water-based markers. We have two different kind of size. One is 24 markers, which they are in the perfect, is good enough to do most of the artwork. And we also have the 60 color set. It just looks awesome to have all the color, isn't it? But try to be fair, I am not going to use the 60 colors marker set. I am going to use just the 24 marker set, and then to share with you, this is good enough. If you have a set of LK270 markers, good for you, because they are really awesome markers. You can really abuse these markers because they are really heavy duty, and I have created a video to share with you how you can actually refill those markers with just the water. But remember, do it only if necessary. This marker will definitely work for a few years before you need to refill. I will put a link below. Make sure you watch that video if you need to refill your markers. Okay, so I'm going to just use this small box marker, and then those 24 colors is actually repeated if you repeat in that 60 color set. So the small one is good for traveling, and the big one is just have more colors. Do you really need it? Not really, but you just want to have it. Just give me a second, let me organize my markers first. Okay, that looks much better, isn't it? So these 24 markers that actually come with all the color you need, and the best part is those markers you can actually blending together, and I'm going to share with you how I do that. So they have a warm color, they have a pink tone, they have a purple, they have a gray and black, they have a full green tone, full blue tone, 3 earth tone, and the black color. So it's totally enough for you. We just want to have more, but this one is actually work just fine. So, and then about the paper, I prepared two kinds of papers today. One is a macro cardstock, and one is a dark glossy. You can find those paper from Marco's paper or the paper cuts. I did a paper review a while ago, and if you still have an old Chronicle paper, that's awesome, because those paper, they have been changed the mail, and the new paper doesn't really work well with water-based marker. Not all the glossy paper, they will work with water-based marker. It's very important. Some of the glossy paper, they will never dry. So you got to make sure you have the right paper. And I'm also going to show you what happens if we stamping on the regular cardstock, like a recollection. Recently, I fall in love with this recollection 110-pound cardstock. They work just so well, but I haven't tried with my markers. I hope they work well too, so that way you don't have to worry about find the perfect glossy paper. And then also I'm going to share with you, if you really like that shining finish, and then how I'm going to use just regular cardstock to make it look a shining finish. So it's very interesting. I like to know. I believe most of my customer and my viewer, they get into the stamping, card making because you enjoy the process, you enjoy the creating something. I'm sure most of you get into the car making and the stamping because you want to save some money that you don't have to buy any birthday card, thank you card anymore, right? I think that's pretty much the case. So, but the car is just end out to be a wonderful result that we can give those wonderful artwork to your friend that other people can enjoy, right? I remember when I was traveling to the show, and sometime we met some exciting newbies, and then they always say, "Oh my God! All I need is just have a starter kit, and I will never have to buy the any cars anymore." I always kind of just smile, and then I say, "Yeah, you don't know what you get into. This car probably going to end up be $100 cars." So, but I'm sure most of you just want to have fun. It's not about the saving the money. You don't have to buy the car. That's what I get into the stamping because I really enjoy to making the car, enjoy the process to create something. Like I say, the stamp is just a tool. You are the artist. The stamp without you is just a piece of rubber. It's you use this tool and to create a wonderful artwork. So that's start today's video, and I think you are going to get a lot of information, and I have a lot of video like the last few video I created share with you how to use the magic mushroom, how to blending. If you have any question, feel free to leave me a comment, let me know, and I definitely work on the video and I will do my best to share with you what I know. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so I'm going to share with you few different kind of coloring technique. So the material list, first of all, you got to have a box markers. Like I say, if you have a box of local kings markers, that's awesome. If you don't have it, you can create Tin Ho's Distress, Stamping Out, the Tumble, Marvy, all kind of water-based marker. It will work just fine, and you can even use Crayola markers. They will work. All marker is actually very juicy. They are very moisture, and the tip is big, so it's easy to color the stamp. So I am going to use our 2021's spring new design. This is a Garden of the Life and the Land, Land and the Sea. I hope by now you have received your order. If you still not, that's just wait until Monday. If you still don't get your order, send me an email. I start tracking it. So I'm going to use these two sets, and then you know what? When I design my new stamp, every time I just try to wondering which stamp set is going to be the number one sell. Actually, these two set was the set I picked. I thought this one was going to be the number one sell. Maybe I didn't prepare, create more video to share with you how to use this set. So the eyes have it take over the animal set, but this set is actually you have too many different kind of possibility. So today's video is going to relate to my next video, and we just do a preparation because I'm going to do a little bit coloring, but I know you would like to take a peek what I am planning to share with you. So I already prepared the prototype. This car is going to be awesome because it is one car, but you are going to have three different kind of result. Okay, so this is my prototype. It's kind of like an endless car. So you can, I hope you get an idea. So you can do like a flower in the middle, and then change it to the goldfish, and then change it to the seashell. So you kind of can play around, and then this is my prototype. And then when I create this car, I say, well, maybe it's a good idea to share with you how I coloring. So I'm going to do the coloring, and of course, some of a nice stamping technique you probably like to know. But after we finish today's video, this is a coming video, and then this video is kind of challenging because how can I cut the same spot? So that will be my next video. So that's just to do the coloring part, and I think you're going to love this one. And the hoping, well, hoping nothing. Okay, let's get started. Okay, do you know what's different between the shadow stamp and the detail stamp? You know, I thought everybody know what's different between the shadow stamp and the detail stamp, but that's not true because a lot of people is still wondering what is a shadow stamp, what is a detail stamp. Stamps are stamps, they're all the same, but that's not true. So let me show you what is the difference between the shadow stamp and the detail stamp. You can see I have a two stamp here. Okay, so I just use the black color to show you what's the difference between the shadow stamp or the detail stamp. So let's just give a nice firm press. Okay, so you can see the seahorse and the or goldfish is different, right? The goldfish color is much solid, and the seahorse you can see that white area. Still see the paper. So it's also the goldfish, you can see the outline is reverse, is white. And then the detail, the seahorse one, the outline is black. So the detail stamp, the outline is black. The shadow stamp, the outline is white. So let's take a look or stamp. Okay, see the difference? The detail stamp, you can see in the middle still have some hollow area. That when you stamp it, that will be the paper. It will show your paper. The goldfish, you can see the stamp is completely flat. And then when you stamp, any place is black. Any color you put on the stamp, and then they will transfer to the paper. So only the racing area. So the racing area, when you color with the color, and then that will be your stamp image. So it's very important. They are different. I remember sometime I received an email from the customers that, well, I bought this stamp. What's wrong with this stamp? This stamp is only black. It's a defect item. No. This is the shadow stamp. Shadow stamp is designed to that you can do the multi-color. And then now on the market is a lot of like a step-by-step stamp. You want to make a multicolor, you have to stamp the first foundation color, and then second color and third color to be able to get the multiple color. But this kind of shadow stamp, you can just coloring just with one step, just color different color, and then it will end up to have a multicolor. So on my package, you can see the detail stamp, you have to stamp the outline and you're going to color in. And the shadow stamp, you're going to color directly on the stamp. And you probably ask me, say, hey Lisa, so can I use the marker on the detail stamp? Of course you can. There is nothing you can or you can't. You can do whatever you like. You are the boss. It's just what's the best result that's more important, right? Sometimes you can, I'm going to share with you to see a same stamp, like a detail stamp, when I use the marker, what's it look like, what's the comparison. Okay, so for coloring the shadow stamp, if you have a stamp position perfect, you can use it just in case if a boo-boo happen, you can always fix it. Especially if you use regular cardstock, it's a good idea to have the stamp positioner because the regular cardstock, you probably have to stamp 2 times. And I'm going to show you what's different if you only stamp 1 time. The color may be a little bit lighter. So if you have a stamp positioner, you can stamp 2 times and then you will get the same result. And then, but if you have a macro cardstock or dark glossy or the Chronicle special glossy cardstock that work with the dye-based impact, you don't really need the stamp positioner because usually one stamp, they will get a very good image. So I'm going to share with you all. So just want to explain to you what's the shadow stamp, what's the detail stamp. They are 2 different things. They can do they are just the rubber stamp, right? But what is good for what? Like any kind of tool. This screwdriver is good for the screwing. The hammer is good for hammering. You cannot use a screwdriver to do the hammer job, and you cannot use a hammer to do the screwdriver job, right? Does that make sense? So let's get into the coloring. Okay, if this is the first time you are using this shadow stamp, this is something you have to do. You're going to use a cheap eraser. You're going to erase on your shadow stamp. You only have to do this 1 time or 2 times the first time when you use your stamp. I'm sure we all have this experience. We buy the stamp and we go home, we stamp and it doesn't work. So we kind of have to like a conditional or stamp few time in ink few time, and then the stamp will work well, right? That's kind of the same idea. So you're going to just use a cheap eraser, erase the surface. And I did receive a few emails that, hey Lisa, if we're doing too many times, is it going to damage the stamp or not? It is hard to damage the rubber stamp. I am not sure about clear stamp, but it's not going to damage the rubber stamp. Rubber stamp is actually very good quality. They need to bake with a 320-degree temperature, so they are really strong. The only thing you can damage is because when you kind of erase, you maybe push too strong, you kind of break the line. So that's what we don't want to see it. So don't do it every time when you need it. You only do it when the first time you purchase the new shadow stamp, or after a while if you don't use these, then they don't stand well. So that hoping that make a sense. You don't have to use the stamp positioner, but if you have one, it's a good idea because sometimes boo happen. You can always go back to fix it. If you don't have a stamp positioner, make sure you watch the video number 43. I was sharing with you how to create a stamp positioner by using a CD case or DVD case. So I'm going to do the both of them, and then the first coloring, I am not going to working on the detail. I just want to share with you how I coloring and what's different between the shadow stamp and detail stamp. So those markers are awesome. And then in my culture, we always say the wood is come from the sheep. Some of you guys say, Lisa, your marker is so awesome, but they don't have like a name. First of all, it will be very hard for me to come out 24 name to name each color. They say they don't have a name, they don't have a number. This whole set of marker is only $24.99. If I want to printing the name, the number, and the price is going up, and then I'm going to charge you more. So that's what we get. You can make your own color chart, and then you can put the number by yourself. So just try to put them all together. Okay, that's the start coloring. Okay, so on the top is the detail stamp. On the bottom is a shadow stamp. When you touch the shadow stamp, they are nice and smooth. When you touch the the detail stamp, they are kind of rough. Okay, I'm going to color them, and then this video I'm going to share with you what's the coloring blending technique, right? I am not going to for the first coloring, I'm not going to working on the detail. I just want to color them. This is absolutely no skill required. Everybody can do it. My youngest customer is only 3.5 years old, and the oldest one is 90. When I was doing the show, when I doing the demo, I don't even look what I'm coloring. I actually look at my customer and say, hey, magic. And then, because I want to share with you, this is really doable. So the most important thing is when you coloring, make sure it's a stroke, is a keep it together. You don't color here, a little bit, color here, a little bit, color here, a little bit. The foundation color, we are going to make sure we apply our foundation all our face. So same thing, once when your foundation is colored everywhere, and then we can start to add an eyeshadow, eyebrow, okay? So at the show, I often, don't look where I'm coloring, and I try to finish my coloring like a 30 second. The reason is because I don't want people think Lisa need a technique, and then I can do it when you go home is not going to look exactly the same. That happens all the time. You see the people, oh, this is so pretty and so nice. You buy yourself, you go home, you're so disappointed because it doesn't work. I don't want that happen. So at the show, very often people say, she's good, she can do it. We go home, it's not going to look like that. But you know what? Hello. I'm at a show because I want to try to selling my product. I'm at a show not that I want to show you how good I am. Say, hey, I'm good, you're bad, so buy my stuff. I'm at a show because I want to show you that you can do it and you can enjoy what I'm doing, right? So it got to work. If it doesn't work, I cheat you one time, and I have been doing this for 10 years. I was a show to the show. If I cheat you one time, you won't be back. And then how many of you keep coming back and become so addicted to the local King's product, right? Okay, and then see, I'm taking my time, I'm talking, I don't worry about it dry on the stamp, and after I rubbing with the eraser, they are much easier to coloring. So the first one, I am not going to working on the detail, but in my video, I'm going to share with you how you can make your image looks even better. So if you want to make a quick card for somebody you don't like it, but you want to have some coloring, you just color it. But if you are making some card for the people you like, I'm going to share with you how you can do the blending. Okay, so I'm kind of basically using the same color the detail stamp and color the shadow stamp. And this marker, there's some trick you guys probably don't know. When you want to pick up the marker, you actually push the tip and they will pop out. So they can like pop out, so you can easily to pick up the color you want. See, I'm still talking. I don't know about other people's marker, but our marker is famous because it's moisture. The tip is big, so it's easy to do the coloring and blending. I know there is some marker like a Z marker is very good marker. I have a box. How much I paid? $200. Okay, Z like this, right? They will work, but I don't want to use it because the tip is so fine, right? You see the way I'm coloring, and then maybe damage my marker. I don't remember how much I paid these markers, but some of them is already dry, which is no good. Okay, see, I'm still talking and I'm not editing because I want to share with you these dries along the rubber. So I put a little bit red on the stem, a little bit here and there, and then I put a little bit more darker green on my water plant, and then I put a little bit brown on the stone. Okay, see, I really don't working on the detail. I just want to show you what's it look like, what's the difference between the shadow stamp and the detail stamp. Okay, you know what? If you need your reading glass, don't even bother. Don't worry, wear your reading glass. Just do color and see what it look like. Okay, I have a 2 eyeball on the goldfish. Where is the eyeball? Somewhere around here. And then here is the eyeball, right? When you color, don't just try to color that. Try to do this. Go over the line. So my eyeball is here, and then some dotting here. Okay, and then for the detail one, I have a seahorse here. Seahorse also have eyes. Okay, so I kind of just do like that. Okay, and I think that's pretty much about it. How long I have been talk? Okay, I talk too much. Oh, I forgot my bubbles. Okay, so let's give a little bit blue bubbles here. Okay, let's see what it look like. So I lost my phone, and then I actually put the die cut mat here. So that's what it look like. And then I found out this paint tool is actually very useful because it make my job easy. Okay, let's see. Okay, you can see I didn't really spend the time to do the color. It looks acceptable. You give somebody you don't like it, but you can see this is the detail stamp. The one have an outline, and then this is the shadow stamp. See the color? The shadow stamp, because the outline is reversed, so they looks color is more solid. The detail stamp, they have a hollow area, and then this hollow area is good for you to color in. So the shadow stamp, you color directly on the stamp. The detail stamp, you color your paper. You can color on the stamp too, but well, you know what? Like I say, you do whatever you like. You are the boss. This is just a tool. You command your tool. Don't let your tool control you. Make sense? Okay, so that's what's different, shadow stamp and detail stamp. Do you have a shadow stamp? Do you have a detail stamp? If you have a shadow stamp, feel free to grab your markers out. Like I say, you can use your own marker. Even Crayola marker, they will work just fine. Crayola marker, the color is a little bit lighter than the marker, but you use what you have. So our marker is only $24.99, but I know the shipping is just pain in the A. But you know what? Since this pandemic happened, my husband went to a hardware store. He was trying to build kind of shelf. One 2x4 lumber, it used to be like $3 Canadian. Now it's $10. So he went to Home Depot. He was standing in front of that lumber wondering, because he used to be in the construction business. He was kind of standing there and staring at the price. And then one other guy, he's standing next to him. So two guys just staring at the price. And then the guy asking, do you see what I see? Hey, do you see what I see? That's one of my stamp name. Do you see what I see? He said, yeah. Did they make a mistake? They probably make a mistake. This is a lumber. So I don't know why the lumber prices go become so expensive to the, or shipping costs. The international shipping has been like a triple. Yeah, but I will still keep our price same. So you know what? The shipping fee, we really don't make money from the shipping fee because we really charge you less than it actually costs us. I hoping the discount we offer can cover a little bit your shipping fee because we are just some small tiny company. We cannot really afford to have a free shipping. You want me stay in the business, don't you? Okay, so let's do the next blending. I'm going to share with you how to blend. And every time after you use it, you are going to clean your stamp with a wet cloth. And then there's a lot of other way you can do too. I have been creating a lot of video like you can call like these detail stamp after you color them. Maybe seashell doesn't really make sense, but if it's a flower, after you color them, mix with a little bit water, and then you stamp down the watercolor paper, it looks awesome too. So I'm gonna share with you how we can do the blending part. Okay, so let's start with a small item first. These stamp set that come with a butterfly, hummingbird, and chameleon. I am not a big fan of the stamp positioner. If you have good quality cardstock, like a coated cardstock, you don't really have to use it. Okay, so that's a star or chameleon. So I have try to avoid that reflection like this. Okay, okay, how to do that too? Okay, let's do this. Okay, so I have this little guy. Okay, and I'm going to just stamp few times to show you how I do the blending. Okay, so we're going to color the foundation color is very important. And remember, I have been mentioning in my video, you got to make sure the foundation color everywhere. Okay, so the branch is brown. You can leave the branch brown. You can cover with light purple, doesn't matter. So that's my first color is my light purple. And then I'm going to just add a little bit darker purple here. And then you can see on my stamp, okay, there is a kind of, it's a little bit hard, but try to do my best. It's two colors. So what you can do is I use the light purple and the darker purple, right? So now I'm using my lighter purple just between these two colors, kind of blending it. And then see, I actually create a third purple. And then you're gonna say, hey Lisa, you ruining your marker. No, don't panic. What you're gonna do is you're going to use a wet cloth, just wipe the tip, you get your lighter color back right away. It's not going to damage your marker, I promise you. I sold over 40,000 bucks marker for the past 5 years, so you're safe. Okay, and then for the branch, I'm going to color my branch here. And then I am going to add a little bit darker brown. Okay, how about let's give a little bit more. It's a chameleon, so the body, we're going to add a little bit blue. And then if you want to blending, you are going to use the lighter color to do the blending. See? I create a more different kind of purple because I'm blending these two colors together. So 24 color, good enough. Can you imagine if you have a 60 color, how many color you're going to blend? Okay, now we're going to give a little bit eyeshadows or just around eye. The eye is here. Don't just dotting the eye. Go over, give a big smoky eye. And then the black eye, some dots somewhere around there. Okay, his little feet, he's somebody, some dotting body on top. So I'm going to stamp a bunch of them because my next video, I'm going to need all of the stamp image. Give a nice firm press, leave 3 seconds, let the paper really absorb the ink. Ta-da! Isn't that cute little guy over there? And see the blending? How many color I use? I show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all the color I use. Okay, let's try one more time. Oh, let's try one more time. Green. So I'm gonna put it back. Green. Always choose one light color, one dark color. Your foundation, like when you wake up, you don't put a very, very dark color for your foundation, right? You put a light color, you add your eyeshadow, your lipstick, whatever. So foundation color, you're going to make sure you color very smoothly. Keep your marker together on the stem. Don't color like this. Second color, we use a little bit darker green. Okay, and then what you're gonna do, you're gonna use your lighter. Oh, so here's a darker green, and then you're gonna use a lighter green, kind of blending directly on top, and then see I create the other green. Okay, so do that, or we can add a little bit. No, that's don't use the blue. I want to just show you. Okay, see the way I just kind of do whatever you like, or stamp will do the job. Your job is just to give them the life, give them the color. Okay. The branch is brown, color the brown, give a little bit brown here. This time my chameleon is very fashion. I want to smoky eyes. So I'm going to give it a really brown. And I want to give my chameleon lipstick. Okay, and then black eye again. I know it's already bit hard to see, but on the rubber is much better than a clear stain. The clear stain when you, I don't mean clear stain is bad, I just mean this kind of technique. If you have a clear stain, you give it a try, because when you color on the polymer stain, you can see the ink is really like a beaded. They will stamp, but you cannot see the color. Okay, so give a nice firm press. That's my little guy. I didn't really spend the, hey, look my lipstick. It looks cute, isn't it? Okay, I didn't really spend the time to do the blending, and then I just want to share with you that you can do whatever you like. Okay, foundation color, if you don't want to just do the one layer, you can do something else. So always try to grab 3 color, light, medium, and dark. So 3 color. Okay, and then I am going to start on the top, light color. Okay, second color. So do a little bit practice, because my next card I need a lot of stamp image, because I want to use the all 2 set. So we just do a little bit. We just do some stamp image. Okay, see, I don't even bother to blending. Let's see what it look like. Give it nice firm press. Look, my butterfly. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and then that's just a 3 color. Let's do again. I'm going to use the green, blue, and brown. Okay, so start with a lighter color. Okay, I can do one side green, one side blue, but remember, when you color, keep your marker on the stamp. Okay, and then try to hold the 45 degree. That way your line is much smoother. If you do like this, it's hard to color, or you do like this, nobody do that. So 45 degree, and then I use 2 color, right? So this is my green. I kind of borrow a little bit my blue, and then my green become darker green. Okay, so you can abuse those markers. Don't worry, it's not going to damage, and then they can be refilled. Sometimes you forget about your marker, leave on the table like that. It dry out, just refill it. And then once in a while, they build out a little bit hairball, and then you just remove the tip. Okay, that's what it looks like. Usually when I color, I don't really working on the detail. Let's see how pretty it is. Okay, so now that's working on, or that's I have the other guy, the other chameleon here. Oh, leather here. That's do pink color. So 1, 2. Let's do pink. 1, 2. I think let's add a little bit. No, 3 color. Usually 3 color is good enough. The small item. Foundation color everywhere. But you know what? Like I said, you don't have to do exactly as I say. to you. You know, there's no right, there's no wrong. You are the boss. You do whatever you like. And then just, oh, this is oh, see, I put the wrong number. I see why my purple is very, very light. Okay, so let's do this. And then, do I need these? I don't need these. Okay, let's just do black eyeball. I want to give him a little bit nail polish. So, a little bit red on his little toe. You don't have to worry. Honestly, you know, just make sure everywhere is covered with the marker. They will look good. And then you see how I color, right? So give a nice firm press. Got to hold it for 3 seconds. Look how cute it is. Okay, so remember, it's really not the marker. You got to use a water-based marker on the rubber stamp. You cannot use the alcohol marker. I know everybody like Copic marker. Copic marker dry too fast. They only give you 10 seconds. You have to stamp. And then Copic marker is expensive. So this is the best tool. It's just fast and easy. So I have, let's do one more. This time, what color we should use? Let's let's do an earth tone, my favorite. So let's just have 3 color. The small image, 3 color, 2 color plus black, they will work. The bigger image, you can use more color. You probably I don't have like a large shadow stamp, because the shadow stamp, when they are too big, you really you have a time like I kind of have like a 3 minutes to finish coloring before they dry on my stamp. Even though if they dry, you can mix with a little bit of water, but I'm in Vancouver, we don't really do it. But the large stamp, you really kind of have to finish, you know, certain time, otherwise they will dry. But there's always other way to beat it, right? So let's see my earth tone chameleon. Woohoo! Isn't that cute? Okay, so you can see I don't really do the blending, right? But I know you really want to do the blending, so let's do some blending. Let's use these. I know my acrylic block probably a little bit small, but I just want the flower, so it doesn't matter. Okay, and then remember, the paper is very important for our US customer. You can buy your paper from the paper car, Marcos, they will work. But for a Canadian customer, you are looking for the dark glossy or the Macco cardstock, please send me an email. I don't want to sell the paper, but I know if you guys want to have it, the shipping from US, we have to pay tax, we have to pay duty, we have to pay the service fee. It's kind of, you know, disaster. If you really need some cold cardstock, matte or glossy, send me an email. I'll create the invoice for you. The shipping is cheaper than the you order from US. I'm just doing this for a favor. I don't really try to sell the paper because just too much trouble. Okay, so I have the other one, and then you can see the picture. We have some orchid here. We have some cactus here. We have some unknown flowers here, and the leaves here. Okay, so we're going to start to color all orchid. And then there is no white dye-based marker. If you want to color your orchid white, there is other way to do it. I will show in my other video. So that's just use 2 color, 1 light color, 1 dark color. We're going to color the flower first. So remember, keep your stroke together. If you follow my instruction one by one, I am sure after a few practice, you are going to become an expert of the coloring. And then, you know, the stamp image is very important. Rubber stamp is all about the image. Without a good image, they are just a piece of rubber. And I hope so far I've been proved to you, Local Kings, the image is really kind of unique, right? Agree? Okay, so I do the light, let me just mark here. So this is my light color. Now I'm going to add a little bit darker color, just around the edge of the flower. And then I'm going to use my lighter color, kind of blending 2 color. And then see, my marker create a new color, but don't panic. You just wipe off with a wet cloth, you get your marker back right away. So that's good enough. Just to try to stay with two color. Don't make it too complicated. And then green color, I have my two green color too. I'm going to color my leaf first. So keep foundation, very important. Keep your marker on the stem. Okay. Don't working on the detail, it doesn't really make a difference. So I'm going to color my cactus. And if you accidentally color one or two flower, it's okay. Okay, so I remember have some stamp have some few berries, and then everybody try to find where is that berry, just color them. They were green before they turn to the yellow berry, so it doesn't matter. So I use my two color, light green, darker green, and then I use a lighter green, kind of blending. Try to hide those darker green. If it's not the darker green enough, let's add a little bit more green. So I kind of just tap a little bit green, and then might use you using your lighter marker blending. And then see, I'm still talking. I'm not panicking at all because I know they dry slow on the rubber. Okay, and I have some little flowers here, right? I'm going to have a purple flower there, so I'm going to just have a magenta in the purple. Okay, so I'm going to start with a light color. Always start with a lighter color. Okay, here, or you can do like a daisy. And then I use my darker purple, kind of just touch out a little bit. And then you don't have to blending it if you don't want to, it's okay. So I'm going to use my darker color, kind of just darken the center of the orchid, make them more 3D. Now I'm going to working on the bottom part. That was a wood dead trunk over there, and then some stone. So for the wood, two color, brown color and lighter brown and the darker brown. Always start with the lighter color first. If it's not enough, we add a little bit darker color. So that's my lighter brown. That's my darker brown. And then for my stone, I have my gray and the black here. Lighter gray first. And then you can borrow a little bit gray color. I mean brown color from the top. And then there's some little stone gravel. Okay. And then I can use the brown to color a little bit my stand there. Okay, here is my favorite color, and they show everybody asks me why you do that. I always kind of do a little bit black. I don't know. I just want to show you, hey, look, I'm ruining out my artwork, but still really good. You don't have to have it, okay? Those markers are wet enough. At the show, people have, especially now, you don't want any contaminated stamps, right? Half the perfect way to get COVID. Hey, I'm going to get my vaccine next Wednesday. Hoping I get my vaccine soon and the border will open soon. I really missing you guys. And then, even though I'm retired from the traveling, but we will still do like a few shows just for fun. We definitely will go back to Orlando. Why? Because Mickey Mouse is over there, and we will definitely go back to California. Yes, because Mickey Mouse is over there. So, should we go back to Texas? What's the Texas have? T-bone steak? Okay, so that's give a nice firm press and see. There you go. Look. Isn't that awesome coloring? I didn't really working on the detail. Like I say, the design will take over. They will do the job. Your job is just make sure you color. Let's watch one more time. Let's do a little goldfish, and then I'm going to do I have a room, so I'm going to do my hummingbird here too. Okay, so the first attempt, I didn't really working on the detail, right? So I'm going to cover my goldfish, yellow, orange, light orange. Okay, holding your marker 45 degree. I really can't say about other people's stamp, but if you have local kings markers, local kings stamp, you will be able to do it. So I found out my hummingbird doesn't really ink well because I think this is the first time using it. I'm going to just rub with a eraser. I'm going to do it again. You will find that after, I'll try to do, after you rub with that eraser, it's much easier to apply the color. Okay, so that light, that's okay. So just do that. So I start with my light orange, and then I am going to just on the bottom of this little goldfish, or on the tail, I did a little bit red. So now I'm going to use my orange, kind of blending the red to hiding that darker red stroke. Of course, like a hummingbird here. Okay, so see my orange become darker orange. Just wipe off with a wet cloth, you'll be fine. And then the leaves, the water plant. So we're going to color the green. Okay, and then we're going to do a little bit darker green. Darker green. And then you're going to use your lighter green, kind of blending directly on top. Okay, and then I have my stone on the bottom, so I'm going to use a gray. So if you touch a little bit green, it's okay. You know, they will blending together. So I color my stone with a gray. I'm going to add a little bit brown and a little bit black. So see the way I do 2 strokes of my black, right? Okay, and then I'm going to use my light brown, light gray, kind of hiding that brown. Okay, and then I am going to do my bubble. The bubble is the detail, so because the bubble outline. So bubble is the detail, and then color with the blue. And then I am going to put the black eyes for my goldfish. Okay, put some black on the tail too. They do have a orange and the black goldfish. Oh, I forgot to color my hummingbird. Like I say, they dry slow on the rubber. You don't have to worry. Now I'm going to color my rubber. Give a little bit red. I love hummingbird. We have a hummingbird come to our yard once in a while. Okay, let's do a little bit purple. Okay, and then black eye. Okay, if those dots on the hummingbird bothers you, okay, if that bothers you, you can use your red or brown, kind of blending it, make that disappear. See, I am taking my time. I am not worried they dry at all. And then give a nice firm press. You got to make sure you give a nice firm press and let the paper really absorb the ink. That's my goldfish. My goldfish means a mouse. Forgot to color there. Hey, nobody can see it. There you go. Isn't that cute? Okay, and then when you finish, you're going to clean your stamp with a wet cloth. And then I am actually share with you. Actually, you know, before we do that, let's try to stamping on the recollection to see what's the color. I think if it's a small image, it should be fine. If you want to stamping on the regular cardstock, try to use a darker color. They will show better. So let's just do a little bit blue, a little bit purple. This is a recollection paper. I am sure if you use the stamp positioner, you are able to get a very pretty color, but I'm just give it a try. So give a nice firm press. You know what? Actually, I think that's not bad. This is just a regular recollection paper. Let's try a little bit bigger one. The bigger one is more challenging because the small one, you can push hard, right? The bigger stamp, they kind of when you press, the pressure is go everywhere. Let's try a black goldfish. They do have a black goldfish. I was mentioning in my video, I had a student, she liked black. Everything, her room is black, black, black. Her toilet, her sink, everything's black. And then even her goldfish is black. So let's do that. So I just do the gray color and the black and use my gray to kind of blending a little bit. Like I said, if you want to use a cheap cardstock, try to do a little bit darker color. So hoping they will work just fine. So that way you don't have to worry about the fine paper. Oh, this is a stone. Okay, and then I am going to, because my goldfish is black, I'm going to change my base to brown. Otherwise, too many black. This is too boring. So let's do brown. And then we just do a little bit black for shading. Okay, and then my bubble is blue. And then make sure around your goldfish eyes is black. Hey, let's give it a little bit lipsticks. How's that? Lipsticks. And then I think that's good. So this is just a regular recollection 110-pound cardstock. I don't know if it's going to look nice or not. If you have a coated glossy paper, glossy Macro cardstock, try to use those. I am excited to see. What do you think? Want to take a guess? Is it looks good or is it looks bad? See, the color is a little bit lighter compared with on the coated cardstock. So if you have a stamp positioner, you just do one more time coated. They will. You know what? Let's try. Okay, so you can see I stamp one more time, right? The color is actually a little bit lighter on the Macro cardstock. So what we're gonna do is we are going to just use the light color. So for example, my goldfish is kind of gray, right? So I'm going to use a gray color, just cover directly on my goldfish. Okay, and the leaf, I'm going to use a light color. Your second coat have to be light color. If you do like a darker color, it's probably going to be too dark. So my water plant, and then for the stone, the stone is going to be a light color. You can use a gray too. So stone is like this. And then my bubble, the bubble is the same. We can do the blue color. Okay, and then I am still doing a little bit touch up with the black around the eyes. And then I am using my light gray, kind of blending that black. Okay, let's see what's it look like. Put a little bit green here too. Let's see if we stamp 2 times, it's going to look better or not. So this is only happen if you only have like a regular cardstock. You want to get the kind of nice looking. See, the color is darker, right? But I think on the coated cardstock it still looks better. Yeah. So the coated cardstock, the color won't fade, and then it's actually the image is very, very sharp. Okay, so that's on the recollection paper. I won't recommend it if you want to do the color, because the color is just not vivid enough. Okay, but you can use recollection for coloring. So here is another technique. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your markers here, and we are going to use those marker as a watercolor. So I am going to color my seahorse blue and red. So I'm going to just put a little bit blue a little bit pink, a little bit orange. So you can use those markers as your watercolor. Have some water here ready, and I have a paintbrush. I have a tiny paintbrush here, and then you can just pick up some color here. Okay, you add more water, the color is lighter, and then you can just blending. You know, sometimes you just want to do some small work, and then you are too lazy to bring all your watercolor out, right? So you add more color, the color is very light. You add the last color, the color is dark, and then make sure you use water resist black impact. So this is what's different. The detail stamp, you got to color your stamp. You don't have to be very careful because we have a matching die cut, right? So, and then we can die cut it. See, I am using orange, pink, and the blue, and then I can blending all different color. So this is my seashell, and then add a little bit water, and then become darker. So it's just a coloring, and then they can blend in the color too. See how simple and easy, you know, here. And then I'm going to have a little bit green for this seashell, and then clean your brush. Okay, and then I want to have like a red starfish. So those marker is totally able to do the watercoloring. So, and then you can blending the color, use them exactly like a watercolor. And I'm going to have one more tip to share with you. So this is a regular cardstock, and I really want to make shining. How I'm going to do that? So that's just finish coloring first. Okay, so let's do the. Remember, you add the water, they become lighter color. More concentrate, the color is darker. That's my seashell, and then I want a little bit yellow for the other one. Okay, so watercolor can be used on the regular cardstock or watercolor paper. You cannot use watercolor. Well, I shouldn't say you cannot. I suggest you don't use a coated cardstock with watercolor because they are coated, right? So you can give a try. It's not going to end out lovely. Trust me. Okay, so that's how I color with markers. Watercolor with markers. Okay, I only use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's what it looks like. And I think it looks good. If you still want to do like a more shading, more detail, you can still add it, but I just think this is good enough. You know, it really depends how important your friend is. So that's how color with markers. I hope you can give a try with your markers too. And the last one is we're going to heat dry it before I do the last step. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can turn your matte coat cardstock to the shining glass finish. Let me go. Okay, want to see how I make a shiny finish? I have a secret weapon. The secret weapon is ta-da! Just a regular packing tape. Okay, so the trick is, one of you guys asked me how to avoid to get the wrinkle. Oh, it's really actually a little bit hard. You just have to work small pieces. You cannot pick like a very big piece, try to cover the whole page. You just have to use the lens that you can control, okay? And then they do have like a 3 inches wide packing tape, just like a regular packing tape. See, I connected. It's hard to see, especially after you die cut it. They cannot see the gap. Remember, it's a handmade. You know, you want a professional cover, to go buy the print one. Okay, see, I just cover with a packing sheet. You can barely see that gap. Okay, remember 2021's spring new design, they all have a double die. That's awesome. Okay, so I have my seashell here, and then it's very, very important to create a guiding window. I show you, okay? This stamp set, it does come with a double die. If you don't want a guiding window, you just use your outline die cut. You die cut it. They have a big white gap, not really attractive. So you can use that one as the layering. If you want to use your detail die cut, you got to have a guiding window. Okay. So place your guiding window on top. Look how detailed Local King's die cut is. There is a barely outline between the die cut image and the stamp image. I hope my customer realize that I don't use the auto tracing. Auto tracing can never tracing the line, this detail. I really working on a very, I work a lot of hours to try to have a perfect product. Okay, so you are going to circulate it, and I'm going to. Okay, so I have no problem to die cut it, and then these pieces now. Okay, see, this is how I finish my surface by put the packing tape, and then I have this beautiful shining finish. You don't really see that gap, right? Okay, so that's how I color all my shadow stamp image by using the markers, and I am going to just have these all the die cut ready, and then stay tuned for the next video. The next video is going to be a fun one. It's the one card, but you see all the 3 different kind of design. I think that's awesome. And this card, I'm going to share my secret how we can get a perfect die cut the same spot, because we want that this jar is at the same spot like this. Okay, so that's today's video. I'm going to cut all of them. I hope if you have any shadow stamp, or if you have any kind of markers, bring it out and try to work with the markers a little bit. If you have any question regarding how to use the markers, or use any Local Kings products, or any stamp set you like me to do a video, feel free to send me a comment, or leave me a comment, or send me an email. I will definitely working on that. So hoping you like today's video. This is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. See you soon. Bye.